Hi there. I've been chatting to a couple of my students who graduated from the seasonal yoga teacher training course, a year-long course. They graduated last year in 2022. Their names are Alison and Louise, and I've been talking to them about the course. I started by asking Alison why she wanted to do a yoga teacher training course.
You offered the Seasonal Yoga Foundation course. Really enjoyed that, really enjoyed learning more about yoga. And I remember when we came up here for collecting our certificates, and there was a group of us and we wandered down the street and we're saying, well, if you did teach training, would you do it? And we're going, oh yes, yes, yes. So it was sort of there, and the seed had been sown that it would be an interesting thing to do, not necessarily for teaching, but to gain more understanding.
I think I'd been doing yoga at that point for about 3 years, and I've been in the UK for maybe one or two. And I needed something more, not necessarily something to make a radical career change, but just something that was a bit more meaningful. And because yoga was something that I was getting so much from, I thought, oh well, people are doing trainings and learning more, and so I thought it could really give me a lot in my life. So I had a bit of a look, and it wasn't in the idea to teach originally, but that became an aspect I actually really enjoy in the end. So originally it was just to get a bit more meaning, I guess.
It was a big commitment, and I wanted to be 100% certain that I could give that. But saying that, doing it's been one of the best things I've ever done. So,
fantastic.
So yes.
So you're glad that you did?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's just everything that you learn on the course, it informs you in how you practice, and it informs you. I feel that my home practice is now evolving because I have a better understanding because of what I've learnt.
So I'm going to ask you about the seasonal aspect. Obviously you were interested in doing a yoga teacher training course, but this course had that extra seasonal layer. What attracted you to do that?
I feel quite privileged that I started that journey with you sort of through your classes, because I saw that change of direction that you were taking with it, and it sort of clicked. It seemed really sensible and really obvious that you would practice seasonally.
I came across it looking on the internet about trainings in the area, teachers in the area. Found seasonal yoga, hadn't really heard of it, so talking to you and looking online as well, I learned all about the cycles and how it's kind of synchronized, aligned with nature. And to me, yoga was very much something that helped me be more at peace, and I was looking more for like harmony and those sorts of things, like really a feeling of at peace and aligned with my environment. And with the seasonal aspect, I thought that's like taking it one step even further, because there's the recognition that nature has cycles, and so you're aligned with those cycles, but also I like the fact that the energies are different throughout the year. So it's, even though it's the same type of yoga, it's more or less calming or energizing depending on the time of year. It also helps reconcile you with your own cycles and your own moods. So throughout the year, you've also got variations in energy, but then throughout the day, throughout, whatever else is going on in your life. And I find that being mindful of what's going on in nature and then recognizing that, in turn, it kind of helps being more kind to yourself and recognizing, oh, well, today is just a lower energy day, and that's okay, it's just a cycle.
It just makes sense for your body and your well-being that you're in tune with nature, I suppose. That's the way that I saw it.
Next up, Alison Taylor. Obviously, you've completed the course, you did the 12 modules and you graduated a few months ago. What were the highlights, do you think, of the course?
Obviously, you and Melissa as our teachers, that's a given. The bonding of the group was absolutely fantastic, and I think we all felt incredibly sad when the course came to an end. Just not having that monthly connection with these people, and it's really lovely when you meet up. And obviously, because when you're doing your homework, you've got homework partners, so you're always keeping in touch during the month, so you don't feel isolated. You're not sort of coming together and then splitting up and not talking for a month. Everybody's sort of talking, which is fantastic, and that's a wonderful learning experience to be in, and being able to share.
So Lou, you obviously graduated in September 2022. You completed a year-long course, all 12 modules. Looking back, what do you feel were the highlights of the course?
I think for the structure of the course, I really like that it was over a year, which makes sense for the seasonal aspect, but and in person as well, because I think it gave us an opportunity to really see the transformation, which you may not have as much time in like a condensed 4-week, 6-week, or even 3-month training. And it's a bit weird to say now, I guess. Maybe at the time I wouldn't have said, but I did quite enjoy the homework, because it does end up feeling like we did more than the 200 hours, because it's not like I was thinking about yoga all the time, but it did make me try at least to have whatever we were thinking about from like when we were studying the sutras and in my daily life, to see, okay, well, we're thinking about non-stealing, and I'm, facing this thing at work, and how could there be a parallel? So I think with the homework, it really helped take it further than the maths, which can be difficult, and it's still difficult. It's not like I've found the way now, but it really helped, I think, really cement the practice.
I think the way the course builds up is really good. You start the first weekend with a whoa, this is so much, but you look back and it's all building gradually. It's a building block to ultimately starting your teaching experience. It starts you on this path just to want to learn more and more. The lectures are informative as well as enjoyable. I mean, there was nothing sort of bland about it where you switch off. And yes, learning obviously the physical practice, that's always lovely to sort of develop.
The discussions that we all had, that's kind of linked to the homework, because I think, again, the fact that it was over the whole year, we really got to see everybody's personal development and also everybody's point of view from like what they had experienced in their lives, and then you can get their wisdom as to what they learned from it. So, and with the teachers, of course, obviously as well, I think it was really good to have a group where you can share your experiences.
So what's happened to you since you completed the seasonal yoga teacher training course? Has it changed your life? Do you do anything differently? Are you teaching classes? What's happening?
My personal practice, meditation, is something I would not have done at all in my own before, or I would have used maybe an app to guide me. And then most of the time I would just be sitting here waiting for it to finish, and I mean, oh well, that's done, I can tick my box, but not get much out of it. Whereas now I'm a lot more confident doing my own practice, my own asanas, but also meditating on my own, which is something that is a major change. And I've started teaching, or continued teaching mostly family at this point, because I still have a full-time job. So we'll see in the future how things evolve, because it's something I didn't think I would be able to do or would enjoy quite as much.
What would you say to anybody that was thinking about doing the course?
Do it. That is my first reaction. If you think you're ready to take that step, then take the plunge. It feels daunting, and I appreciate, because I was the same way. You've really got to think hard about it, because, you know, it's commitment, not just to yourself, but to your group.
It's a training, so you don't have to already know everything. And it's also not a conversion, so you don't have to then do it thinking after this you have to quit everything in your life, go live in a tent and become a yoga teacher.
People get held up with the fact as, oh, I don't want to teach. And I think we all sat down there at the start, you know, oh no, we're not doing it to teach. And by the end of it we were going, well, no, I think I could feel comfortable teaching. And I think understanding that teaching isn't necessarily going out and doing a number of weekly classes. Teaching can be any form that it takes.
There's like a lot of learnings that can be used in so many different ways, in so many different areas, and it's not incompatible with the way your life necessarily is at the moment. So I think it's a lot of positive that can help in many different ways. But you don't have to be already dedicated to doing 10 hours of yoga every day and be, you know, super flexible, super knowledgeable. It's a training, and I think it's self-growth before it is, here you go, you can teach others.
It's lovely just seeing everybody's confidence grow as the months went by as well. So, yes, I couldn't recommend it enough. It's just on a personal development basis. It doesn't matter afterwards what you've done. It will change you.
And would you recommend it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it's been great talking to Lou and Alison about their experience of the Seasonal Yoga Teacher Training course. If this is something that interests you, why not contact me by email?